नमस्कार दोस्तों, मेरा यूट्यूब चैनल में आप सबको स्वागत है। और आज हम ये साल का बजट का एक शॉर्ट एनालिसिस कर रहे हैं। और इसके द डिसीशंस एंड द अलॉटमेंट्स मेड इन द बजट, वो डिसीशंस कैसे अगले वाला साल में, आने वाला साल में कैसे जो स्टॉक्स और सेक्टर्स को कैसे इम्पैक्ट करेगा, कौन सा कंपनीज़ को वो बूस्ट करेगा, कौन सा कंपनीज़ को वो नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट हो जाएगा, ये सब आज हम थोड़ा एनालिसिस करेगा। ठीक है, ओके, लेट्स जस्ट नॉट वेस्ट टाइम एंड जस्ट गो राइट इनटू द टॉपिक. So I'll highlight each and every segment that is positively and negatively impacted to a specific due to a specific decision done by the government in this budget. Okay, so पहला हम start करेगा. The first one could be there is no major announcement on tobacco rates. So basically it is a positive impact for companies like ITC, CoffeePhillips and EST Industries, since there is no increase in tax on tobacco and tobacco related products. These companies could actually not have a negative side in its, or negative impacts in its movement. No income tax payable up to an income of 12 lakhs, which is a really good news for the middle class people as of now. So it is actually going to increase the spending capacity of a lot of people, which could directly impact a lot of middle class consuming businesses. Specifically, if I'm saying Zomato, Swiggy, HUL, ITC, Nestle, Dabur, Trend, Jubilant Foodwork, Varun Beverages, all of these are like consumables, and these are like on a regular basis consumed by the middle class people. And because of this, there could be, because of the deduction in exemption of tax up to 12 lakhs income, there is a possibility that the spending capacity of this middle class people could impact higher growth of sales in these companies. So keep a track of these. Then for the next thing is the capex seen at rupees 10.18 lakh crore, which was around 11 lakh crores earlier, which is lesser than expected. This could probably be a negative impact on L&T, JK Infra, NCC, railway stocks like IRFC, RVNL, IRCTC, Sitaraman Railway, and different stocks like BEL. As such, we could actually see the kind of negative impacts this budget had on the defense sector and the railway sector, since right after the budget was initiated. I mean, like the budget started off, we could see a massive sell-off in the railway and the defense sector, because those two sectors were in a very large focus and was expecting quite a decent allocation of funds, but it was not up to the mark as they expected to be, which resulted in a massive sell-off on the day of budget, which was yesterday. And the next one is there's no rate cut announcement, plus no ATC or ATT exceptions under the new tax regime. So the foreign direct investment limit for the insurance sector will be raised from 74 to 100%. This is actually positive, but could affect negatively for HDFC Life, ICICI Lombard, Go Digit, PB Fintech. All these are insurance companies, so that should be kept in consideration when you are taking trades on these stocks. And R in Pulses Plus National Mission on High Yield Seeds, which is positive for Kaveri Seeds, ITC, Nadani Wilmar. And the government was actually focusing on a lot of cotton-based industries, support for cotton and textile-based industries, and along with that, there was a lot of support for footwear industry as well. I'll discuss that in the coming points. And the next one is Prime Minister Dhanaya Krishi Yojana, developing agri district program, which could be positive for Jain irrigation, Shakti pumps, Josh engineering, Finolex industries. All these are industries that are based on agricultural firms, and because of this kind of an approach from the government side, it could possibly impact or affect on a positive note for all these agricultural based companies and industries. And PM Savthani enhanced loans from banks, UPA linked credit cards with 30,000 limit, which if they are opting for companies like Paytm and Finotech Payment Bank, that could be a boost for these two companies, because they would eventually have to rely on some kind of private companies to dispose of these loans to the customers. And more like it's like a UPA linked credit card setup, which could is the government would be actually interested in having a collaboration with these kind of companies like Finotech Payments Bank and Paytm, which has their own specific private bank sector. So there is a possibility that these companies could be possibly positively impacted because of this. And the next one is no major announcement on LPG subsidy, which is not a positive aspect for IOCL, HPCL, BPCL, and all. And I don't know if it's gonna entirely be a negative aspect, but yeah, let's look into it how it's gonna impact on a longer run. As of now, it is more like a neutral kind of stand. Government will bring an enabling framework for sustainable harnessing of fisheries from Indian exclusive economic zone and high seas. This could be a positive impact on Avanti Feeds, Coastal Corporation, Kings and Frost, Zeal Aqua, Apex Frozen Food, etc. These are the companies which are related to marine sector. So keep a watch of, we keep a track of all these shares because due to this decision, there could be a positive impact for the marine segment in the upcoming financial year. And then EdTech upskilling in AI enhancements, which is a positive for NIIT Learning, C Educative. These are all educative segments, education-based industries. Mission for cotton productivity, as I mentioned earlier, there is a lot of discussions around the cotton productivity of the company. I mean of the country, which could be positive for companies like Wellspun, Indo Cornet, Indocount, other textile value chain companies, Nahar Spinning, etc. So have a track of all the companies that are related to the textile industries. Then there is a loan limit under the modified interest subvention scheme, which will be enhanced from 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs for loans taken through the KCC. This could be a positive. This could have a positive impact for TVS Motors, FMCG stocks like ITC, HUL, Bajaj Auto, Jain Irrigation, SBI, PNB, Shakti Pumps, etc. Then budget allocations lesser than expected for defense, home affairs, IT and telecom, commerce and industry. So this could, I had mentioned this earlier. So keep a track of all the defense stocks which could possibly be impacted on a negative note because they were expecting big this budget and it was not up to the mark as they expected. So it is a negative for BEL, HAL, Bharat Dynamics, Apollo Micro, Infosys, TCS and Wipro. India poses a catalyst for the rural economy, which could, if India Post is seen as a replacement for Delhivery, it could impact Delhivery stock on a negative manner. So just keep a track of the movement of Delhivery as well. Then significant enhancements of credit availability with guarantee cover MSME startups, credit cards for micro enterprises, funds of funds for startups. So a lot of funds have been allocated for MSME specifically. So the MSME stocks could actually see a bit of a boom in the upcoming sessions. Keep a track of all those SME IPOs that are coming up. So that could actually be benefitable. While some of the positively impactable shares could be Info Edge, small finance banks, then selected non-banking financial institutions. Focus product schemes for footwear and leather sectors. As I mentioned earlier, there was a specific mentioning for boosting the footwear and leather industry as well. So Mirza International, Red Tape, Metro Brands, Campus Active, Liberty, Bata, all these can be kept a track of for a positive sentiment. When measures for the toy sector, this was one of the major highlights of this budget. I was not expecting much, but they had allotted a good number of good chunk of money for the toy sector specifically, and they were highlighting it again and again on a regular basis throughout this budget. So we could actually expect some kind of boom in the toy sector as well. So Shaili Engineering and OK Play could be really good bets for the upcoming financial year, since the allocation of funds is pretty good for these two. Support for food processing, positive for Gujarat, Ambuja Exports, Hindustan Foods, DFM Foods, Pratap Snacks, etc. Then manufacturing mission furthering Make in India. Positive for Dixon Tech, PG Electroplast, Amber Enterprises, APAC Durables. Then clean tech manufacturing is positive for Wari, Premier Energy, Samar Raja, Exide, Suslon, Inox Wind. All of these are like renewable energy, and the government is actually boosting a lot of renewable energy companies, and these companies could probably deliver very good chunk of profits in the upcoming future, because these are all future oriented companies. more than the current situation. On a longer run, we need renewable sources of energies to be, and dependency on renewable sources of energy would be very high. So keep a track of that as well. Then Sanksham, Anganwadi and Portion 2.0 is this could be positive for First Cry and Poppy's Baby Care. Broadband connectivity to government secondary schools and PSH. Which broadband connectivity for the government secondary schools could eventually be a positive aspect for Jio, Bharti Airtel, VI, HFCL, Sterile Tech, etc. And these are all tech companies. Keep a track of these companies as well. And Bharatiya Bhasha Pustak scheme could be positive for Chand and Navneet education. Expansion of capacities in IITs is positive for NBCC. Social security scheme for welfare and online platform workers positive for Zomato, Swiggy and Nykaa. Jal Jeevan Mission extension of mission until 2028, which is a very I wouldn't see this allotment as an ethical perspective, because water has become a very basic necessity, but we are subject to have to depend on paying money for a basic necessity like water. But this could be capitalized by the companies like Viatech, Wabag, Jash, ITD, Cementation, Shakti Pumps, Jain Irrigation, etc. All these companies are companies based on what do you call water processing. So these companies could actually get a really good boom in the future, since water is actually becoming drinkable, usable water is getting very scarce at this point. And since the allotment of such a good amount of money to a mission like Jal Jeevan would positively impact these kind of companies. Incentivize electricity distribution reforms and augmentation of intra-state transmission capacity by the states. This could end up a positive for NTPC, Power Grid, KEC, Tata Power, Adani Transmission. But I wouldn't think, I wouldn't say that the power sector has actually got such a good boost as expected this time. But let's see how it is going to be on a longer run. I have really good faith in the power sector, especially in Tata Power. I am decently invested in Tata Power as well. So let's see how it's going to move off. Development of at least 100 gigawatt of nuclear energy by 2047, which is a positive for HCC. HCC has always been in my watch list, but the momentum of HCC has not been that great lately. So I had kept it aside and always considered as a longer perspective option for trading, for investing, not just for trading. Shipbuilding financial assistance policy will be revamped, and shipbuilding clusters will be facilitated to increase the range, categories and capacity of ships, plus maritime development funds with a corpus of 25,000 crore will be set up. This is an actually really good boost for all shipbuilding companies like GRSC, CI, Mazagon, Cochin Shipyard, etc. So keep a track of all shipping companies. This could really be a really good boom, and these companies were actually delivering really good momentum up until now, and this could even have further impact, and bigger returns could possibly be fetched from these companies. And these are actually corrected. These companies, most of them have actually corrected really good and are available at decent kind of price levels during this bear market which is going on. And let's hope how it is going to react the upcoming week as well. Modified van scheme will be launched to enhance regional connectivity to 120 new destinations and carry 4 crore passengers in the next 10 years, which is positive for GMR Airports, Adani Enterprises, SpiceJet, Intercorp Aviation, which is Indigo. So the regional connectivity increasing would be a really good boost for the aviation industry as well. So let's see how it is going to positively impact. The impact on the aviation industry would possibly be based on how effectively they are, how effective they are completing these projects. The rural development of regional connectivity through airways, these needs to be done, and the projects needs to be completed with much effectiveness and enthusiasm. If they are just promising projects and not completing it on time, there could be a negative impact on the same time as well. So that's one thing. Mining sector reforms plus policy for recovery of critical minerals is a positive for NMDC, GMC, Vedanta, etc. Vedanta is a really good dividend share as well. So keep that at track. Special window for affordable and mid-income housing. Positive for Awas, Financier, Aadhar, Housing, Home Finance, Home First Finance, HDFC Bank, SBI, PNB, etc. 50 tourist destination sites in the country will be developed in partnership with the states plus special forces on destinations related to the life and times of Lord Buddha, which is more like a tourism oriented segment, and we have actually got a bit of boost for the tourism segment as well. Keep all track of all of these: East My Trip, ITC Hotel, Charit Hotel, Lemon Tree, Ixigo, Thomas Cook, SpiceJet, etc. You can actually look and read through all of these. I am not going to explain on everything because the video is going to be very long for that. Medical tourism and here in India will be promoted in partnership with the private sector, which is positive for Shalby, Aster DM, Apollo, Fortis. So that is hospitality, not hospitality segment. It's like the healthcare segment. So keep a track of the healthcare segment as well. To start a national geospatial mission to develop foundational geospatial infrastructure and data, which is positive for Genesis and Map My India. Export promotion mission with sectoral and ministerial targets is positive for pharma and EMS stocks. A national framework will be formulated as guidance to states promoting global capability centers in emerging tier 2 cities, which is positive for embassy rate, Mindspace rate, and DLF. The scope for fast track mergers will be widened and the process made simpler, positive for special situation stock. Rationalization of customs tariff structures for industrial goods, positive for ABB, Siemens, and Thermax. To add 36 life-saving drugs and medicines to the list of medicines fully exempted from basic customs duty, as a positive for most of the pharma companies like Sun Pharma, Aurobindo Pharma, Cipla, DRL, etc. This was also a very highlighted point during highlight and very positively impacting matter discussed in the budget as well. To fully exempt cobalt powder, waste, and scrap of lithium-ion battery, lead, zinc, and 12 more critical minerals um, will impact positively for the Amar Raja and Exide battery companies. To add two more types of shuttleless looms to the first list of fully exempted textile machinery, to revise the BCD rate on knitted fabrics covered by 9 tariff lines from 10% or 20% to 20% or 115 per kg, whichever is higher, will be a positive boom for textile companies like Welspun, Indocount, Nahar Spinning, etc. Manufacture of such open cells, the BCD on these parts will now stand exempted, which is a positive for Dixon, PG Electropast, and EPAC durables. To add 35 additional capital goods for EV battery manufacturing and 28 additional capital goods for mobile phone battery manufacturing, positive for Dixon, Ratan India, Exide, Amar Raja. To continue the exemption of BCD on raw materials, components, consumables, or parts for the manufacture of ships for other 10 years, which is a positive for the shipbuilding industry, which includes Cochin Shipyard, Mazagon Stock, and DRC, etc. Domestic MROs for railway goods, positive for rights. To reduce BCD from 15 to 5% on fish hydrolysate for manufacturing of fish and shrimp feeds, positive for Muka protein and shrimp stocks. No GST for ground installation for satellites, including its spares and consumables. Positive for goods used in the building of launch vehicles and launching of satellites. Positive for L&T, Sundram Fasteners, and Apollo Micro. No major announcements on capital gain taxations, which is a negative for Angel One, Motilal, IC Securities, and IAF Security. All these are security-based companies dealing on financial plannings. 50. The last point would be reduced customs duty on import of propane, butane, LPG to 2.5%, 2.5% and 5% from 15% earlier, which is a negative for Gujarat Gas and positive for OMCs. So that's it with the a blackout summary, I would say, in response to the budget that Nirmala Sitaraman has presented this year. Let's see how on a longer run the market is going to react on all these stocks that I've mentioned here. You can actually take a screenshot or maybe check out all these stocks and add them to your watch list and see how they react, how positively they're reacting, how negatively they're reacting on the upcoming sessions. So that's it for today, and I'll be back with more 5% target stocks. And till then, it's a bye. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.